However, things got ugly when the lock opened. The water gushed in and the boat started swaying. While Lily did not have a care in the world, our captain Rob was instructing me to hold the ropes tighter, which was impossible to do when you're holding a phone in one hand. So I did what every logical person would do. I threw it away. In order to embark on our boating trip from Slough to Maidenhead, we first had to embark on a road trip from Beaconsfield to Slough. In the car are my friends Rob, Kris and Lily. Rob is driving and his wife Kris is up front. The road trip from Beaconsfield to Slough is 16 miles long.
Event or just to sort of plan the place out?
Fast forwarding the footage would be the wise thing to do because the freeway is quite long, just like the chatter of the lady sitting next to me. After her long chit-chat with Lily, Kris has resorted to consulting the map of our boating trip as Rob continued to drive on. On the way to Slough, we will pass places like Woodburn Green, Burnham, Taplow, Bray and Windsor. Right now we have reached Windsor and that there is the Windsor Castle. We will see more of it during our boating trip. And here we are, the famed Kris Cruisers of Slough. Kris Cruisers own more than 50 boats, some small and some very big. Our Kris here inside the car has already booked our boat.
Boat? I don't know because I changed it, if you remember. Well, I don't think they gave us a name anyway.
Do you want to go find the name?
Planes from one of the runways of the London Heathrow Airport take off from above Kris Cruisers. Sailing and safety instructions are given by the officials at Kris Cruisers to all people who hire the boats.
If you push it all the way forward, you will achieve a maximum speed of 5 miles per hour. Okay.
So you'll be pushing, you reverse as your brake, did you say?
Yeah, so if you're going forwards and you want to brake, you just put into reverse basically.
Right.
Okay. Apply backwards force. And the same applies if you're going backwards and you want to bring yourself to a stop, you just put it to forwards again. Just to slow yourself down. Fine, yeah. Cool. So as for steering, it's just like a car, turn left to go left, right to go right. Yeah. There is little steering in reverse, just bear that in mind. Little what? Little steering in reverse. Okay. Yeah. And also when you're steering, there will be a slight delay, so just take that into account. Yeah.
And then we are off onto the lush waters of the Thames estuary. I thought that was some kind of communication radio.
They count the swans. Swan hunting.
Yeah.
All swans belong to the Queen.
Exactly. It's illegal to attack them, right? As Rob pointed out, all swans in England belong to the Queen. And it seems the swans know this. I know because I have experience, as they had attacked me a few days ago in Birmingham. This here is the Summer River House. Although we won't be staying here today, I'll definitely stay here one day in the future and make a video about it. That structure over there is the Windsor Castle where the Queen resides at times. We did pass it on our way here in the car, and we will pass it again as our boat reaches Windsor sometime from now. The Chinese virus is diminishing all across UK, and that gives us a fresh ray of hope. And to immediately shatter that, here comes a Chinese dragon boat. Just when I thought the worst had passed, Rob handed over the wheel to Lily. There are so many beautiful houses and resorts on either side of the Thames. My dream is to own at least one of them one day. But presently I really fear for all of our safety seeing the way Lily is taking us downstream. And so we reached the first lock of a series of locks on our journey. This one's called the Romney Lock. The responsibility of holding the boat was given to me and Kris, while we waited for the other boats to pass, which I soon found out was an excruciatingly slow process and involved the entire fleet of the Royal Navy.
That's about it.
And before you know it, another lock. This one's called the Boveny Lock. It's much more organized and spacious, with beautiful surroundings and a small office. However, things got ugly when the lock opened. The water gushed in and the boat started swaying. While Lily did not have a care in the world, our captain Rob was instructing me to hold the ropes tighter, which was impossible to do when you're holding a phone in one hand. So I did what every logical person would do. I threw it away. After that adventurous episode, I was secretly hoping that we'd not encounter any more logs on our journey as we continued down the Thames. And just around the corner, we found the Windsor Castle yet again. This region is an important center of history, commerce, and tourism. On either side of the river, you can find cafes, harbors, and much more. Just after the Eton Bridge on the right side, you can see the Eton School, where so many great personalities in British history have educated themselves, including the current Prime Minister Boris Johnson. After passing the busy waterway, we continued upstream on the Windsor Maidenhead service line. And before long, you guessed it, we reached another lock. But luckily, our adventures on the previous lock did not repeat here. And because of my exceptional performance, Rob allowed me to hold the rope again.
One more lock, and then if we don't get bolted by one.
Kris announced that there might be one more lock up ahead as we continued on our final leg. And here we are at the final lock of our journey, the Bray lock. This was by far the friendliest lock of all because I did not have to get down. And we're off yet again on the Windsor Maidenhead service line. And that's when Lily pointed to this bad omen. And this here is the legendary Maidenhead railway bridge. It's one of the longest and largest brick railway bridges in the world.
What's the name of it?
That building up there is the Thames River Hotel. We'll be staying there one day soon and I'll make a video about that too. And finally, that concludes our boating trip, and our older friends Rob and Kris would continue on their second honeymoon. After spending some time at the Thames, Lily and I decided to head back to Beaconsfield on our trusty British double-decker bus. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe for more of my adventures around the world.